Reality and Chill with Kenny.
And Nishi, let's talk Miami.
Hot, hot, hot.
I know Miami's hot. Oh, Adriana. Good old Adriana.
Good old Adrian.
Oh. Wow. All right. So are we episode two?
Two,
We're episode two.
season
Seven.
7.
Yeah. It all becomes a blur at some point, doesn't it?
I
I
know.
always forget the
Episode
numbers.
2, season 7. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I actually enjoyed it too. I feel like a lot happened. You know what I realized we forgot to talk in the last episode, and I think we should start off with this, is Gertie and Julia. We didn't unpack that
Mm.
whole text message situation. And I reckon, should we just get straight into it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Like, Julia had that Zoom call, wanted everyone to go. Gertie tried to get in there, didn't, and we saw the text message exchange. And now they seems like they've got a bit of a fractured relationship, which is weird because last season, Gertie obviously got diagnosed with cancer. Martina they had that connection, they supported each other, and now I was shocked to see that a fracture in their friendship.
I think hearing the fact that there was two babies in her arms while she was trying to run the Zoom, and you can understand if you've got a bunch of people, is just if somebody can't get it happening, hey, no worries. It's like I'll just let you, we'll let you know. It's not a biggie, right? It's just like
Yeah,
there's bigger fish to fry here, which is trying to juggle a Zoom meeting with multiple people and two babies in your arms. So
yeah.
I think Gertie is just made a big deal out of nothing, which she does all the time. And then at the same time, I feel a bit guilty because I'm like, well, is she going through like different therapy? Like I actually liked this episode. Like last episode, I slagged her off. This episode, I kind of, she was so vulnerable, talking about where she's at with her husband and the scarring and just showing her breasts as well and damage in this perfect world of Miami where everything is how you look. I just like before I was like, oh, she's just being a dick about some of the things, but now I was just like, actually, I'm going to give her as much grace as she needs. I'm kind of a Gertie fan this episode,
You
so
gosh, that changed quick.
I'm a
You've gone to being
turncoat.
a
I'm a
Gertie fan.
turncoat, and it's authentic as well. Like I felt different. Like yeah, I felt different this episode. I'm with her, man. She's annoying. She hasn't stopped annoying me, but I don't care. I just want to give her all my love and support.
It's true.
It's a lot, man.
I think in terms of the text message, I agree. Gertie's response to that didn't have to be so short and nasty.
She's
Like,
annoying,
okay,
but she's going through so much. Like, so what?
she
Just let
does
it
need some
go,
grace. She does need some
Yeah.
grace. Yeah, and I think she did. Yeah, I mean, she didn't have to do that, and then it obviously rubbed Julia the wrong way. I think on both ends, I don't think both of them handled it in an ideal way. She could have just been like, "Yeah, we just want to announce we're having kids. Don't say anything, or whatever. We've adopted two kids."
Yeah.
It could have gone either way. Like, I feel like it was just a miscommunication as well. Like, it was very much like they were just kind of like this.
It just
And then
didn't seem like that big a deal, right? It's just not a big deal. And it's like,
no,
this is something about nothing, is what it feels like.
yeah, but also it sounds like then Gertie, there were some underlying issues about that whole going to the party or whatever it was, that yacht or something like that. What was it? It was
Yeah,
some sort of
there's
event.
other underlying stuff going on there, which I think has probably got to do more with the fact that the alliance with Marisole and Lexi and that friendship has spawned up more. So there's a jealousy from Gertie's end because she feels like she's lost some of the influence in that friendship with Julia. So
Um,
yeah, it's a dynamics in the friendship that's changed. And Gertie being such a control freak, which she is, there's no doubt about that. She doesn't know how to go with the punches. And so what she's doing by then overreacting, responding that way, she's actually pushing Julia further away. The correct behavior would be to understand that, hey, it's okay. Like people are closer sometimes and then they move away and then they're close again. And you've got to go with the flow. This thing of trying to control it and not actually just call it out what it is, which is, hey, I feel sad that you're closer with these girls and I miss
mm,
you and I've been going through a lot. Like then you've got an opportunity for it to be mended, but like, it's just really dumb the way
it
it's
is.
happened. Yeah.
You know what? That actually makes sense because even Adriana, is very upset with Julia. They used to be besties, and now because Julia's hanging out with Alexia, she's also she's put some distance between them. And so
Well, wasn't there a
you're right.
scene with Guerdy, Adriana, and who else is in that
And there
scene?
was a third person that I cannot remember.
It's
Who was
interesting we
that?
can't remember the third person. It's bizarre. It was Larsa. So
No,
it's yes,
no.
it was Larsa. It was Larsa in that scene. So suddenly you had this kind of weird because it's all about the dynamics of friends, right? So suddenly it'll be like, oh, because I've fallen out with this one, I'm now with this one type of thing. It was either Lisa or Larsa, but I'm pretty sure it
I
was
think it was
Larsa.
Lisa.
Was it
I think it
Lisa?
was
Okay.
Lisa because I think they were talking about Larsa.
So okay, so then suddenly you've got this new
Yeah,
dynamic, right? Which is Lisa,
yeah,
and it's like the
yeah.
out because they're on the outs or whatever.
That's
But it's really funny when you watch that happen. It's like, okay, so what do you guys really have in common? Oh, what you have in common is that you're all feeling the same way about not being that person's number one. Like, so you're no longer somebody's number one, rather than just be able to go with the flow, walking through life with a bit of grace. You've tried to control the situation. So now you're all gone together and focus on that and bitch about it and now create a real issue that didn't actually exist. It was just the natural flow of how friendships
oh,
roll. I
right.
know.
It's so yeah. It's a bit yawn, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
it's yawn, but it's also this is the stuff I love watching. This stuff doesn't tire me
yeah.
out because it's like
No,
it's kind of just it's entertaining. You know what I mean? It's
it
like
is.
entertaining in the thing that these are silly little traps. It's just human nature. And yeah, it's just it's not it's just a bummer because it could be so easily resolved.
I know.
But at the same time it does make for good telly.
I know. They're so petty. They're so petty.
Yeah.
Um, and then, oh my gosh, I thought it was so funny. So, anyways, we see Larsa and Lisa have to go to Milan. And then that, for
That
the,
was the best. That was my favorite actually.
they got stuck. Well, first of all, they're on the same plane. And then they're in the same car.
That the same car, like I could have died for
Pippin and
that. That was
Huckster.
just so fun. It was so well done. It was just, yeah, I loved it.
Pippin and Huckster. I can see the sign. Like, what do you mean? Surely, are you sure you got this wrong? Like, you got this right? And they're
Yeah,
literally
the
facing each
producers
other.
obviously knew exactly what they were doing there. But
So
yeah, it was
good.
so good. But it does sound like those guys. You could see. So a couple of things. Like, what do you think of Jodie? Like Lisa's boyfriend. Like, I don't dig his energy.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, he doesn't want to be like around, like he's probably trying to stay out of drama. But I don't know, the more and more I hear and see about him, I feel like he's a bit gross. Like I just think he wants to be with the who's who. I don't know if I trust him. I can't put my
So I
finger on it.
remember last season when Lisa was going through all the trauma, and I was like, wow, this Jodie guy, he's really putting up with a lot from Lisa because Lisa was just, so fixated on her ex and was a bit of a nightmare to be around. But just physically, and it's not about good looks or not good looks, just physically, there's something that just doesn't gel with his energy with me. So I don't know if the work he's had done isn't quite
Yeah,
right, and so he just looks a bit like strange.
he.
Um, so there's that,
It's
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's true. I think he's like he has that. This is where I feel like he's trying to fit into a world that it's not necessarily. It doesn't feel right, and that's why he
yeah.
looks. He's trying to do all the work and da da da, but it's just not right. It looks off.
It's
I
just
know, I
not
know what you're
right.
saying. It's
No.
not right.
And
Something's not right.
energetically, so you've got that. It doesn't look quite right. Like there's something that's not quite fitting there. And then energetically, it's like he's always had this awkward presence. Like again, it's just this awkward feeling that you
Mm.
pick up.
Yeah.
And now he seems like he's like feeling a little bit more confident in the relationship. Now we're seeing he's got a bit more balls now, right? So now we're
Mm.
seeing his true nature a little bit, which is he's a clout chaser 100%. That's what he's about. There's no real loyalty there, and it's all about the next party. But it's a perfect match for Lisa's exactly the same, and it's just like gross,
Yeah, she is the same. She is. You see that side of her now.
Yeah.
Well, she was being like that. Yeah, I thought in there. No, I agree with you. Jodie's definitely there's something off there. I can't put my finger on it, but it seems like that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. He's a clout chaser. And he kind of came in when she was vulnerable, right? Perfect opportunity. She needed
Yeah, so true.
someone, she needed to be nurtured. He was nurturing her. She's a gorgeous girl. She's got the look, she's Miami. He's got
Yeah.
money. I guess it was like the perfect way to sort of swoop in. Um, yeah, I just thought the conversation in the car. Well, first of all, Larsa's son didn't want to hear about it, but Larsa goes in hard. A couple of thoughts on this. I think Lisa should have just backed down at that point and just said, "Hey, sorry if it offended you. We apologize. Let's move on. Have a good time in Milan. We're really good friends. Let's not let it go down that path. Like, it's already messy. Let's let it not go any further. Take accountability, move on." And then I thought Larsa went in a little bit too hard. I thought she was a bit nasty. I get she's hurt, but she does fight dirty, and I didn't like how she was like, "Oh, well, why are you here if your dad's dying and in ICU?" That was a low blow. That's
Kind
how
of
she
like
was
to
there.
calling it out though, and she's got a point though. So it's like, well,
It's
Lisa,
true.
you want to use this as a way to say, hey, back off because I'm getting a bit emotional. And she's just like, oh, you want to use that card? Well, let me flip that card over and show you what the other side looks like, which is you want me to give you sympathy because your dad's dying. What the hell are you doing in a fashion? Like, it was like a perfect
In Milan.
comeback. I really
You
took my
liked
hat
it?
off. Yeah, I like, for whatever reason, I'm starting to like Larsa more. I thought it was a great comeback, and I didn't think it was low hitting because it's like there was a really good point there. Like, you can't
It's
use
the
that
truth.
card, and it's 100% the truth.
You like it because she's being truthful because you love a good truth player.
Yes,
That's why.
I do.
She called it out.
Yeah, I do. It is true,
Yeah.
and and I just think Lisa, and I think what it was showing for me is the whole thing with Lisa and with Jodie is that they don't want to miss out on a party. With one of her comments to Larsa was like, "Oh, you made me leave a real party for your fake breakup." So
Mm.
that's what she's so pissed off about, is that she had to leave a real party, and
Party, yeah.
then obviously her like Larsa, they split up and they got back together again, and so that's what Lisa's angry about, is that she missed out on a party. Like, for
I had to
real.
leave a
Like, this
fake
is who these
party.
people are.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's amazing. Like,
Oh
for
my
us that
goodness.
enjoy, our Ugg boots on and watching a bit of, like,
I want
and
to
like we'll
tie
be
it.
out somewhere and we're like, oh, I wouldn't mind being back home, hot chocolate,
I
like, it's
know.
just unbelievable
Like,
what they're
what
willing to do. The throwing their friends under the bus, walking over the dead bodies to get to the next party. It's hilarious. It really
is
is.
this? Is this it's not just a Miami thing. I'm just trying to unpack that because it's like, how can you be bothered glamming up to the nines, the high heels? Like, it's like full on every time, like
Well,
every week,
it's,
the dinners and everything.
when they were talking about the AC, hey, we do the AC in
Yeah.
the room, the AC, that was all about Coke. So I was listening to a podcast about that party thing, and about they're trying to say, oh no, it's because of air conditioning, but it's not. Like, it's really well known. And then you sort of look, when you're looking at that scene, you can see them all sort of eyeing each other across the room and stuff. That's all kind of, let's go do a line behavior. I think a lot of this is just that whole scene queen, coked up, beautiful people. And yeah, it's just addictive on that level, that you're who's who. And then suddenly if you drop down or whatever, then because your identity is based on that, then you're nobody. And it's kind of sad. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's where they're at. It's just like, if that's where your value system is about who you are as a human being, yeah.
I did see their. Did you see their sort of rebuttal on on that whole AC thing. Both Jodie and Lisa posted, and they're like, "How dare the producers or whatever say that we were trying." They were trying to say that they had another room for all their friends who didn't want to
that
film.
were all there, yeah. So, but then I heard like Juicy Scoop, Heather McDonald, who I really dig. She's been doing her podcast for 10 years. She's in the know, right? So she's also a comedian, and she gave a bit of a really cool breakdown. And it's absolutely zero chance that that wasn't code for Coke. Yeah. So, but I did do my research on that because I wanted to know for sure. And I now look, what would I know? I'm just a podcast viewer, an observer, but I do think that that's what was going on for sure. Like just her behavior that night, she was so nasty and in Larsa's face and so full of herself. Jodie as well, just slip it. Like I just didn't feel like that was really Lisa.
Mm, yeah, I didn't like the way they. I honestly, I actually thought they were both like I don't like how Larsa fights that dirty though as well. I just think she goes a bit too far. That's my opinion. I think I agree. She in the grand scheme of it, she is right. Um, but I just don't like how she fights about it. She plays nasty. Actually, it was really funny when they were at the after party in Milan, and then freaking there's the most famous guy, Fabulous, was like trying to get the
Yeah,
tea.
that was so great. That,
That
that was
was the
the rapper.
highlight. Yeah.
That was this is
And he's
why I
like,
love
so what's the
Miami.
house?
It was
That's the housewives
amazing.
tea. And they're really trying to say, she's like, well, what would you do if that she was hanging out with my ex? And she's like, yeah, but I wasn't hanging out with my ex. It was my boyfriend. And he's like, oh, well, if it was the boyfriend, you can't
Oh,
really
it was
control.
so good. It was so good. This is it. This made it for me. And so apparently Larsa and Lisa got along for the rest of the week and they're mates again now, right? So then Jodie came out on the outside. So
I
yeah, that was the
know.
gossip oh, you heard this as well? Oh,
Well,
maybe
they
it's not
didn't
that gossipy.
they gave a glimpse at the end. Wasn't that the glimpse of the next
Ah.
episode? I don't know if you maybe you heard a little bit more, but she was saying, yeah, we were all good. She was playing it back to the girls. She was like, we were all good, but then at the end, I thought she was sort of insinuating that Jodie was like really angry, but then also sort of on drugs or something because she showed a photo of him and his eyes. They were saying crazy eyes,
Ah,
but I
right.
don't know if that's what it. Oh, I think that they were sort of insinuating that he was all coked up or something. I don't know, something like that.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't me having my finger on the pulse. It was just watching the episode then. That's hilarious. And but yeah, okay. Well, I'm really happy that the girls are back together and screw you, Jodie. Go piss off somewhere else. I'm glad they're gonna get rid of him. Like, I hope the girls like gang up now on him
I
a
don't
bit.
even know. Who will get rid of to your mate? As in, they'll pull
Well, I
him
mean,
out.
I just hope like Larsa and Lisa's friendship's back on track, and I hope they get rid of Jodie. He is a clout chaser. He's the reason why Lisa and Larsa fell out in the first place, and it's
Yeah,
because he'd rather have mates with somebody famous. And it wasn't Lisa going to that dinner. She's right. Like she shouldn't have to tell her boyfriend what to do. Jodie
yeah.
should just know that look, this could make things awkward with Lisa and her best friend. I won't go, but he'd rather be there and be a clout chaser. So I think the girls are going to get together and like Lisa will be like, she will end up seeing it and realizing that, yeah, her boyfriend's a dick. And yeah, we'll see.
These clout chasers, man. Like, who do you trust? Who do you trust? And they all get blinded
Yeah.
by it. It's hard.
Blinded by the light.
Alexia. Okay. Oh,
I love her.
I
I,
love her too. I do like her a lot. Um, her and Todd. Her and Todd. I liked that. Well, so okay. I can't remember what your read on Todd was, but I mean, I can't stand him, and I just think he's obviously a bit of a control freak. And I trust Marisol. Marisol's her bestie, her
I
sister.
really trust Marisol too.
She's got the right read. She's got
Yeah.
the best intentions for
How
Alexia.
good was that when they're all out for dinner and stuff? It was so good. She's like, yeah, man, you've got a narc. We've all dated a narc. It was so cool. Marisol's the
Calls it out.
quintessential, like, cool chick of all time,
She's
I think. She's amazing. I love her.
She is so good, and
Yeah.
yeah, she said Marisol. She said he's bringing out the worst in her. I was actually surprised when there was that scene with Marisol and her husband. And then she actually said her view on what she thinks is happening with Alexa and Todd. And she was like, he brings out the worst in her. Because usually she's pretty loyal. She won't, like, sort of bring those things to the forefront because Alexa's
Yeah.
quite protective, and she wants to paint, like, a picture that everything is all good. But Marisol's just calling it out now. Todd is not good for Alexia. And it's true.
Yeah.
On Watch What Happens Live this week, Alexia and Marisol were on, and it was a very good episode. You should watch it. And then John Mayer was in the bar.
I did watch
Really,
it. It
did
was
you watch
really
it?
cool.
It
John
was good, wasn't
Mayer,
it?
I really dug as well. Him and
Um,
Marisol's kind of click was really awesome.
Banter. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. And anyways, I don't know. I liked the dinner because I thought Alexia is finally opening up her eyes and seeing Todd for who he is, I thought, and she's like, well, no, he's manipulating me, he's controlling. At the end of the day, how could he do that to me? And all even her best friend, the guy Johnny, who went to Madrid, obviously doesn't like Todd as well. All the gays, they're all like, nah, they know that he's not right, but she's obviously like in love and it's hard for her to move on. But,
Well,
it's sad to watch.
it's sad to watch because and you can see how frustrating it is for their friends, right? And it's the whole thing of like we said with Jax being a pathological liar and an obvious narcissist, but like tolerated a little bit, whereas I think the cleverer narcissists, it takes a little longer for people to work them out, and then they're just not tolerated at all. You know what I mean? I think that's where Todd's fallen into now. It just takes a while to click on, because they're clever enough to fool half the people half the time. But
Yeah,
eventually their game's up, right? And these game's up. And once Marisol's done, you're done, as far as I'm concerned. So now everybody's just waiting it out. But they know that this is a difficult process. And all they can do is be there for Alexia because, like, once you've got that narc, like, linked in with somebody that, has those kind of behaviors, it's just, yeah, it just takes time. It's
I
sad, isn't it?
know. It is sad because she's just like, she wants to get out, but she feels like she can't. And he keeps luring her back. And you can see
Yeah.
she's just sort of putting things under the rug and putting the ball in his court. I wonder whether he actually divorced her. Did they say? Watch What Happens Live. I can't remember whether
Yeah,
he
they
ended up
said
following
they would.
through with it. Oh yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah, they.
But then they're still
Uh,
seeing each other. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they
sad.
said. Yeah, it is. It is that I can't stand him though, and it's so like Kiki said, it's like she's one of the strongest women. Alexia is so strong, and I think that's the even harder part about it, is seeing a strong woman like that be taken down by an
Yeah,
absolute asshole. Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Um, but I also thought it really fascinating how I think it was Marisol's read on Todd that he wants to control the narrative. So the fact that they're together while they're filming is Todd's way of keeping Alexia calm and controlling the narrative during filming. That's why he didn't rock the boat during filming. Did you pick that up?
Remember how I was saying like last episode about her being a fiery
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah. Yes.
Cuban. So yeah, interesting. So he's thinking, oh, how do I manage this? Right, okay, there you go. So yeah, because
Yeah,
I think once she does, because she's passionate, once she loses her shit, she's gonna lose her shit. She's not gonna care who's in the room. This is what I love about her. Like she is gonna be, yeah, like she was at that dinner. She's just
yeah.
like she's just open, she's
Yeah,
vulnerable. She's yeah, I really like her.
yeah, I do too. But yeah, man, he is so manipulative. And just to keep her at bay and just, or whatever he's doing, just keep her quiet during that
Breadcrumbing her, it
period.
seems, at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so horrible. He is gross. Like, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, what he did to Frankie, I'm like, that's it. Draw the line there and move on. But she's in the funk. She can't see that clearly. She knows, but she can't seem to pull herself out. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
it's good for the holes, not necessarily good for the soul. Marisol, you legend.
Marisol. Marisol is the best. What else? Did anything else happen? I think that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Martina in the party there with Julia. We mentioned about the Guerdy stuff, which was interesting. Guerdy
Yeah.
going to the doctors about her reconstruction and just the pressure on
Yeah, that
her
was hard.
marriage. That was a bit tough.
That was tough.
Um,
Rough to see.
yeah, rough to see. Really rough to see. And like from her husband's perspective, just the fact that he doesn't care. He just wants her to chill and not go under any more operations, right? He's done with the operations. And for her, the feeling that, oh, I want to look
Mm,
okay. Like I don't need to look perfect, but I want to look okay. I completely understand where her head was at, you
absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. I mean,
And I
it's
could
at the end
understand
of,
where his head was at as
yeah,
well,
same.
right? For both of them. It was
Both,
just
both. And it's tough. It's like, and I think, yeah, she needs to feel good about herself. And if she doesn't feel good, she's not going to be in the right headspace. And for him, this poor guy has gone through all the ups and downs, and he seems like such an incredible supportive partner, and he's there, and he just wants her to be okay. And he doesn't want to see her go through the tough, the tough thing of going through surgery and being vulnerable again. He's not worried about the looks, obviously, but it's not just about the looks.
he just wants the mother of his children. But yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if she doesn't feel good, then so three chemos, was it three chemos and 20 radiation sessions? Like it sounded like a lot. And like a
Yeah.
bunch of surgeries. Yeah.
6 surgeries. Yeah, a lot, a lot. Look, I mean, she said, we're at the end, we're almost there. Far out. She has been through a lot, and I mean, I thought it was interesting last time when she talked about it. She's like, we've just sort of had. It's almost like we've had an explosion, and we're just picking up the debris or whatever. And it's true.
Mm.
It's like it's not over straight after the surgeries are all done and all that sort of stuff. You got to. There's a lot of trauma they've been through. It's hard.
Yeah. Like last episode, I kind of judged her with the whole head shaving thing, which sounds super bad, right? Like it was just like, oh, Gertie, like you're really trying to make a big deal out of it.
Oh, is that
Like
way?
I was really judgy on her, and I was just like, ugh, and still with the bald head and stuff, and like really, and that really flipped around for me this episode where I just wasn't in that mind frame. So I don't know if I've changed since the last season, and I just don't apply the same lens. But I did not feel any of that. I just felt like what a courageous woman putting this on TV and talking about these very fragile issues. And like
Mm.
I say, I didn't even feel like that last episode. So I don't know what's happened to me in the last week.
A Gertie has some annoying tendencies, and I think that's where it comes from. I feel like sometimes she won't let the mouse go. She can just really like, she can attack, like, she's not necessarily soft. She can be quite full on, and I think maybe that's where sometimes she rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah, and it's like that
Um,
control thing we were talking about before, where, when those friendships have naturally, organically changed, she tries to hold on. It's a control thing with Gertie, right? So it's
yes.
it's it's controlling the husband, it's controlling the businesses, and I think everybody intuitively doesn't like control. We don't like
No,
it.
no.
But what's important about having that to the front is, one, does control actually cause cancer? Who knows? I'm not putting that out there seriously, but you think about these behaviors and like,
Mm,
yeah, just interesting. But now she's just a human trying to go through life
yeah.
um as best she can, and I feel and love Gertie now. So yeah, that's where I'm at on
And
that.
she will change after something like this. Like, that Gertie that we've known beforehand this is life-changing
Yeah.
stuff, so she will change anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a wrap for this episode,
I
season
think so
7,
too. I think so
episode
too. I
2.
love Miami. I think it's great. Great TV. Really is.
It
Great
is
TV.
great TV.
Amazing.
All right, and that's a wrap. We'll chat
That's a
soon.
wrap.
Bye.
Hot, hot.